Hi there and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to optimize and customize your Shopify homepage. This video is part 2 of a series where I'm showing you how to customize your Shopify theme, and I'm using the Symmetry theme as an example. I'm happy to announce that this video is being sponsored by Clean Canvas, the team behind the Symmetry theme. I've been using Clean Canvas themes for years and I really find them very professional, and I highly recommend you to check them out. And before moving to my screen to start customizing and optimizing your Shopify homepage, it's very important to mention that your store homepage is the most important page on your Shopify store. You need to think about it as the entrance hall of a retail store. In your homepage, you should tell the world about your brand. You should tell your customers what you sell and what makes your brand unique. And these questions, these ideas should be in your mind while you are optimizing and customizing your homepage. And now let's move to my screen and let's start building together the perfect homepage for any Shopify store. So here I am inside of my Shopify, and in the video number 1, we were creating a shoes store, and that's what we are going to continue doing. So from your Shopify dashboard, you go to Online Store, to Themes, and you click on Customize. As I have explained on the video number 1, you know which page you are changing by going in here, by choosing the homepage. So now I'm changing the homepage. Before starting with customizing your homepage, it's very important to go first to your theme settings and make sure that you have set up everything as per your brand references, as per your brand colors. You make sure that you have set up everything as you want it to be. If you don't have any idea about how to do that, I highly recommend you to check out the video number 1 of this series. Okay, so going back in here to our sections tab. In here you will see that this tab is divided into 3 sections. First we have the header group, and we are talking about everything in this area, so everything that's fixed and it's common between all of your store pages. Then we have the template itself, so this is the homepage. In here, the sections within the homepage, and those were the sections that by default the theme provided in here, but there are more sections that you can add. If you continue scrolling down, you have the footer group, and this is the part we have at the end of this page, and it's also common between all of your store pages. Then we have the overlay group, and in here we are talking about everything that pops up within your store. So it might be your cart drawer, your pop-up, so you can modify them from here, and this section is also common between all of your store pages. Okay, so let's start with the header section because it's a very important section in here. The first thing we have in the header group is the announcement bar. So the announcement bar is very important because it allows you to announce or to point out something important or something that you want to highlight to your customers. So let's say, for example, you offer free shipping for orders above $100. Or let's say, for example, you are doing a Christmas sale available only for 3 days. This is where you should be announcing this. When you click on the announcement bar, you can see all the options related to this bar. So you can choose the color of the bar and the text color. I usually like to use a contrasting color in here, so I'm gonna pick my pink one. And for the text, I will go actually with my primary color, which is the black. Okay, you can increase the announcement font size, so you can make it, for example, 15 if you think that the text is small. You can allow to show social media links, and you can select a small menu to have it here in case you want to show like something special. Let's say you want to link to your About Us page, or you want to link to a certain collection, you can link from here. So let's say, for example, I'm selecting a random menu. Let's say I selected this menu. I will see it in here, okay, as you see. This is a very nice option. You can use it if you have something that you want to highlight. Then in here, you can enable or disable those. I like to keep them there because I like my customers to be able to select the country and to select the language. Back from here, after changing the section settings, we talk about the blocks within this section. So we have this section, which is the announcement bar, and we have 2 different messages within this section. The first one is saying welcome to your store. The second one is announce something special. Let's go to the first message. So instead of welcome to our store, I would say, for example, free shipping on all orders above $100. This is my first message. I don't think I need to change anything in here. I can like change something related to the timer, but I'm going to do that in the second message. So let's say this is my first message, free shipping on all orders above $100. And my second message is actually that I'm announcing a sale. So enjoy our 3 days summer sale. After this, I can put a countdown timer, and this is a new feature by Symmetry, and it's actually a very nice feature because now you can add countdowners in so many places in the theme, in announcement bars and sections, which is very nice because whenever you create an offer, it's very important to make it limited in time because this is going to increase the scarcity and it's going to push people to acting fast and buying from your sale. So whenever you create any offer, make sure that you make it limited in time or in quantity. In this case, we are going to make it limited in time, and the countdowner in here is going to help us to deliver the message in a very attractive way. So I'm going to show countdowner, and I'm going to hide the announcement when the time ends. I will put the end date as, let's say, after 3 days from now, 24, and it ends, for example, at 12:00. So this is my countdowner. As you see, it's in 3 days, 6 hours, 41 minutes, and 26 seconds. I can change the font of the timer, or I can keep it as text font, and I can change the separation instead of dash. Maybe I want to have like a box, so it's boxed. Maybe I want to have dot. Maybe I want to have just spacing. I'm gonna put the box. I like it, by the way. So as you can see, now I have 2 messages, one for the free shipping and the second one, and the announcement bar will be like changing the messages automatically from one to another. After the announcement bar, we have the header, and this is this section in here. And the first thing we have is the default logo. We have it in here. I have set up the logo within my Shopify settings, brand settings, as I have showed you in the video number 1. But I can change the logo from here if I want. For example, here, I think that this logo doesn't have a transparent background. So I'm going to select to remove actually the dynamic source, and I'm going to select an image. So let me go with this one. So now I have it. I can make it smaller because I think it's too big now. Maybe a little bit larger. Okay. I can change the mobile logo size. So if I'm on mobile, I can make it smaller as well. This is actually like enabling H1 is related to SEO. So you can keep it or remove it depending on how good or how far you are with your SEO work. I will keep it. Enable sticky header in this case, so if I scroll in down, the header is always there. This is very recommended because it's very user friendly. If I remove this option and if I scroll down, the header will be like, it will disappear, and it's gonna be difficult for people to find what they are searching for. Let's say I'm on a product page and I want to go back to the collection page. I don't want to click several times back. Maybe I just want to go back in here and explore a totally different collection. So I like to enable it as sticky. In here, if you chose your header to be transparent, like in this case in here, for example, which is super elegant, you can keep it like this. You can add, change the text color. You can even select a different logo for your transparent background. And next we have the navigation. The navigation is related to this menu you see in here. And if you don't know anything about navigations or how to set them up, I highly recommend you to check this video on my YouTube channel because it will explain to you everything related to navigations. But mainly you create a navigation on your Shopify backend and you link to it in here. Okay, and you can change the menu from here. So you click on change menu and you choose between your selected menus, or you click on create a new menu and you create a new menu. Otherwise, you go back in here, you decide the menu alignment. Do you want it to be left, center, or underneath? I will choose center to see how it looks like. This is underneath. Okay, let's keep it left, by the way, it's nice. Then we have the featured link. So let's say you have a sale and you want one of these words in here in the menu to be, let's say, colored. So you put the featured link in here. So let's say I chose catalog, which is just an example in here. It will make this in red. So if you have a sale, you can use this feature to showcase your sale collection. After that, you can select a different navigation menu for your mobile, which you can do it in here. And this is actually a very nice feature. I like that the Symmetry theme offers this option. Sometimes you want your mobile navigation menu to be, let's say, less complicated, or maybe you want to show more items or less items. So it's nice to be able to modify or change the menu from here. In here, you change how your drop-down menu looks like, enable carousel layout for menu promotions. I will show you actually how this works in 1 second. Okay, so let's select a mobile menu. So let's go, we went with the main menu. Our menu now doesn't have a drop-down because each item is just like one level. If I click here on main menu and I actually created 2 levels of menus, I will have what we call drop-down menu. So I see a drop-down when I click on the menu item. So here I am inside of the navigation section. I will go to the main menu and I will create a 2-level menu. So here I have home. Under catalog, I will have, for example, let's say shop by type. And I will not create a link for this one. I will keep it as a word that cannot be linked, so I will have it under catalog. Then under it, I will have, let's say, my first collection. I will go to collections, I will choose heels. Then I will move heels to be a 3rd level, so I will also choose sneakers. If you think that I'm like doing this a little bit fast, I highly recommend you one more time to check out my navigation menu tutorial, because in that video I explain this in so many details, so you can get everything, let's say, extremely clear. So I have shop by type. Let's now create a second option, which is shop, let's say, by style. Okay, I will put, because I don't have a collection for this, so I will put just this symbol so it's not clickable. I will add another sub-collection, let's say modern. For sure, in your store, you should be linking to your right collections. Okay, and I will move this to be 2nd level, and I will click on save. Now I will go back in here, I will click on save, and it will take a little bit of time to be refreshed, so let's wait. Okay, if we go to the desktop view, you will see that now under catalog, I have this drop-down menu, so I can see shop by type, shop by style. This is what we call drop-down menu. Okay, now if I go to the mobile preview, I click on this, I will see catalog, and I have drop-down menus under it. This option in here actually, like if you scroll down under mobile navigation, you can decide like enable parent link to open drop-down menu. You can remove this one. So in this case, when I click in here, it opens directly. It doesn't open the like the 2 levels menus. I recommend you honestly to stick with the option to keep the menu like functioning normally. I prefer it, so I will go back in here and I will keep it on. You can enable showing featured products, so if you want to show a featured product, you can choose it. I can select a collection, and for example, let's say this is my bestseller, I can show it. So if I click in here, I can see the featured collection in here, and I can in here change things related to the search. So you can add like recommendations title, or you can even add a menu for the search. So when they click in here, instead of like just opening this, we can have a menu in here, and you can change the icons. Okay, so this is everything related to the menu, to the header section. Under the header, you can actually add blocks. So you can add a small menu promotion or a wide menu promotion. Let me go with the wide menu promotion. If I click in here, so I need to precise where I want to have it. Let's say I will have it under the home. I can add an image for this one. So let's say I'm promoting this one. Okay, this is the text. I'm gonna keep it, I'm not gonna touch it, but you can in here add link, add a button. As you can see, you can modify everything about it. It's a very nice way if you want to announce something, or if you have a new collection coming out. It's a very nice way to highlight this collection. Okay, if you scroll down in here on the left, you will see everything related to this promotion bar. So you can decide where you want the image to be. You can decide the text in here, modify the text. You can change the button text. You can add a link to the button. You can change the button style between primary or secondary and so on. You can have one button or two buttons, And you can even add a countdowner, which is amazing. So let's say you are announcing, let's say, the release of a new collection, you can add a countdowner, and you do it in the same way we have added a countdowner on the announcement bar. Okay, and you continue with the other options in here. You have like things related to the sizes, to the font, and to the divider type for the countdowner. Same logic we have applied for the countdowner on the announcement bar. I like to use promotions on the header section on the menu. I think they are very attractive and I highly recommend you to do so. This is with the menu, okay? For any store, I always recommend you to have your menu very clear and very well organized. You need to think about how your customers will be exploring your products, what they might be searching for, and include that within your menu. Okay, once this is done, after this, we have the store message. Let me disable the transparent header first, so it should be up here. Yeah. After this, we have the store messages. These are the 3 messages in here. You can remove them or add them, it's up to you. So you have the ability to add 3 different store messages. For example, here we have the free shipping, free click, and free something else. You can modify this, for example, if you want to maybe tell your customers about something special about your delivery options or your shipping, or maybe you want to add some more information about your brand in general, let's say vegan, sustainable, recyclable packaging, something like this. Okay, and when you click on this section, you can modify the colors from here if you wish, as we have done with any other color modifications before, and you can decide whether you want to enable it or disable it on mobile. I like that this theme is offering us always the option to change the mobile preview than the desktop preview. This is actually extremely important. Let's see how this looks like on mobile. It looks very nice, and I guess it's changed from one message to another. Okay, now getting back to the first section of your homepage. So after optimizing your navigation menu and your header section, after making sure that your announcement bar is well optimized and it has a very clear message concerning your offer, your shipping options, and so on, we start with the first section, and I usually like to use in here a simple image with a very clear message that reflects what my brand stands for. Sometimes I would choose to showcase, let's say, different collection pages, or maybe to showcase my newest collection. It depends, but as a general rule, you can start with an image that shows some of your products, maybe with a tagline explaining what your brand is about, and that's it. So if I go in here, this is my first section, and in here I have the slideshow section, which allows me to have multiple images like scrolling. I don't mind using this option if you have high quality images, if you want to showcase again multiple collections at the same time. So let's see what kind of options this section has. So first we have like slide height. This is very important. I like to have a fixed height for all of my slides, so when they are sliding, the slides will all look professional and clean. I can change the height between desktop and mobile. I can make it full page width if I wish, which is the case now. If I remove this option, it's going to be smaller. It's going to shrink. I will keep it full page. I can decide that on mobile, I want the text to be below the images, and this way I make sure that it's legible. I'm gonna remove it from now. Let's see how it's gonna look like. Then I have the overlay style, so if I want the text to have shadow, if not, I can change it from here. Then we have the transition between one slide to another, and we can decide in here, for example, instead of having arrows, if you want to have dots. So I'm changing the settings of the theme. We have the auto rotate slides with the speed of rotation, and that's it. Now, after changing the settings of the section itself, we start like deciding the slides. So for the first slide, let me choose one image. Let's say this one. I can have an image for mobile that's different than the desktop, and this is actually very nice because most of the time the image that works for mobile doesn't work for the desktop, and vice versa, like the text won't contrast well or something like this. So it's nice to have the ability to change like the image between these two things. Okay, we can also change in here when you scroll down, like the overlay. In here you can change the text. So in our case, let's say I'm going to my tagline. Going back in here, I change the text. I can remove the subheading, I can change the width, I can change everything related to the sizes and so on. I can add in here an optional text if I want, I can remove it. And in here I can add one button or two. Let's say I want to have only one. So that's it. And in here I can link, for example, to my collections, to the, for example, homepage collection, which has all of my products. Okay, and I can change the text position. So if I go back to the desktop, I can choose to have it, for example, let's say middle right or middle left. I like to keep it usually centered, honestly, so I'm gonna keep it middle centered. Okay, I will make the text a little bit smaller. So it's centered like this. I guess this is nicer. Okay, after you finish this, you move to the second slide and you modify it in the same way. Okay, once you finish with this part, it's very important that the first part of your homepage, this part, has a clear call to action. When someone lands on your homepage, you should be giving them like direct instructions of how to move around your store. So in your navigation menu, you told them about what you sell in terms of collections and sub-collections. In this menu, in this slideshow in here, you should be doing the same thing. You might be showcasing different collections or different way to explain your products, but you need always to give them direct instructions with direct call to actions. Okay, after the slideshow, you can move down and in here you start building up. By default, the Symmetry theme given us so many sections in here. We can remove some, add some, it's up to you. But I like to have this rich text section actually because I usually use it to tell the word about my brand. So I use it to explain what my brand stands for. I use my tagline, I add some brand history, and I tell my customers or the traffic that I'm receiving what makes my shoes different or what makes my brand different. Let's say, for example, you sell vegan shoes or you sell sustainable shoes. That's where you should be like highlighting these facts in order for them to know what sets you apart from any other shoes company in the market. If you click on the text in here, you can decide if you want to enlarge it or if you want to keep it small. So as you can see, and you can like change the text. And you can even add more blocks, so you can add an icon, an image, even a countdowner if you wish, and so on. Okay, after the rich text, which is the section where you should be talking about your brand, let me fill it out with some content. After the rich text, I actually like to feature my bestseller collection. I always think that bestsellers are bestsellers for a reason. People love them. They chose them, so putting them in front of your new customers or maybe even your old customers is a very smart option and a very smart choice. So always showcase your bestsellers, don't be shy about it, and be authentic. Show your actual bestsellers. They are your bestsellers for a reason at the end. And the best way to feature any collection on your homepage is to use a featured collection section. So this is the section I have already in here. It's a featured collection section. You click in here, you choose the featured collection. Let's say I want to call it Bestsellers. Or I usually like to call it also your favorites. And I can change the options in here. I can enable carousel, show, for example, for products per row, the number of row I want to show, even change the colors of it, show or remove the view all link, and make it full width. I like to show the view all link, and I like to have 4 products in one row and only one row to make it like clean, and I don't want it to take a huge space in my homepage, so I like to keep it like this. After this, we have the image with text section. And this is a section that you can use if you want to tell your brand story. And this is a section that I like to include in my homepage. I always like to include a small section that links to my About Us page. Some people might not be recommending this, but it actually depends on your brand. If you have like a unique brand story, a special brand story, you should be including this section. If you make vegan shoes, sustainable, made in Europe, handmade, like very special. You should be very proud of this, and you should be mentioning this in your homepage. If you just sell like normal products without like this strong brand story, it's fine, you can skip this section. So this is another amazing section that you can modify in the same way we have modified everything else. After that, we have the gallery, and actually I like this section, especially now that we can add videos within this section. Galleries are perfect for a store that sells shoes or clothing or bags, for example, because you can visually showcase your product. So let me go to this gallery section. As you can see in here, I can change how it looks. I can change the layout of it from here. Let's say I want to make 3 images per row like this. It looks nice. I can like change the image height, change the desktop image row height, and so on, add spacing, change the color, change the button style, and so on. I'm not gonna touch those, but you can change them in the same logic we have changed anything else before. I will go back and I will start like adding images. So let's say for the first one, I'm going to add this image. And as you can see, I can either add an image or add a video, and I can enlarge the media. So if I chose this option, this one is going to be bigger than the other ones. I can change the heading and the subheading, and I can add a button. If you want to change how this looks like the text, you go back to the gallery settings from here, and you can play around in here like by the desktop heading text size, mobile heading text size, mobile image row height, and so on. This is where you change the appearance in the section settings. Okay? Going back in here, for the second one, I will actually select a video. I have uploaded some videos to my store already, so I will select this video. Then for the third one, I will select another video. Videos are very important, and I highly recommend you to use them on your store. They make the experience way more attractive to your customers. Let me go to the last image in here and pick, let's say, this image. In here, the video is taking a little bit time to upload, so let me hide it. So going back in here to my gallery section, as you can see, I have a layout of 3 items. If I want to change the layout, I can move this to 2. So I will have 2 items above and 1 item below. Okay, again, the gallery section is a very important gallery for fashion stores, so use it. Okay, after this, if we scroll down in here, we will see more and more sections. We have, for example, testimonials. If you want to add your customers' testimonials in here, you can do that. You have a background video section. So if you have a section for your store, if you have a video showcasing, for example, your behind the scene process or how your shoes are being created and made, you can use it in here. You have also a multi-column section where you can like add information in the let's say in the layout of columns, and for each of these columns you can choose if you want to have an image. You can even remove the images like if you don't want, and for each of these columns you can add an image, you can add text, you can even add a call to action. If you scroll down, continue scrolling down, you will see more sections provided by the theme. I'm going actually to remove these sections from now, and I will keep the ones that, in my opinion, are the most important. So we have the slideshow, the rich text that explains what your brand is about, a featured collection section for your bestsellers, an image with text collection to tell your brand story, a gallery to showcase your products, testimonials because social proof is extremely important to make people trust you and trust your brand. Then if I have a store, a retail store, I will definitely keep the map. But before this, I want to add a section that, in my opinion, is extremely important, and it's the collection list, and I want actually to have it up above. The collection list is a very important section because it will allow you to list your different collections. And remember, in your homepage, your main purpose is to help people to explore what you sell and to help them find what they are searching for. So showcasing your collections will help them to do that. So always include a collection list showcasing all of your collections, and in this way you will help your customers to explore your store way easier. Okay, so the same applies to this section. You can modify everything about it. We have seen in the video number 1 a little bit about collection cards and how to modify them. So if you want to learn about this, go back and watch the video number 1. Okay, after the collection list, you can always click in here on Add Sections and explore all the different amazing sections this theme offers. So first we have Featured Collection, which is the one you have used to add the bestseller collection. We have Featured Product. This is gonna make sense if you sell a limited number of products, or if you have a new release of let's say a new product and you want to showcase the product in the homepage, you can use this section. Then you have the collection list, which the section we have used. We have rich text. We have used this section, image with text, slideshow, newsletter. It's a section that you can use to collect your customers' leads. I usually don't include this section within my homepage because I always have a pop-up set up on my store to collect the leads, and I prefer not to have a form in the homepage. I think it's a little bit distracting, so I removed it from here. You have the contact form if you want to include it, but also I don't usually include this section in my homepage. You have the video, in case you have a high quality video, again, about your process, behind the scenes, maybe customers showing the products, maybe you have did a, I'm not sure, a huge photo shooting, very professional, you can include the video in here. This is a section for your blog posts, if you have any. Custom liquid, this is for coding, so let's skip it. You have the background image. This is another way, so it depends on what you are looking for. You might go with a video section or a background section. Their performance will be a little bit different, so you can choose the one that suits you more. We have collapsible tabs, and on the homepage you can use this to include FAQ, or frequently asked questions section. Again, the FAQ is important and I highly recommend you to use it, but it makes more sense to some brands more than the other, but it's more important to some brands than others. So for example, Mudwater, it's a very famous coffee alternative brand, and because their product is different and we haven't heard about it before, they have a lot of FAQ sections on their stores because they want to make sure that the audience understands what they are selling. Okay, in your case, you might not need that much. You might need only an FAQ for the shipping, the exchange, the returns. In our case, because this is a shoes store, we might need like to reply to some questions related to the sizes, to the exchanges, to how to measure, for example, the foot dimensions and so on, because when it comes to clothes, the main problem is usually the size and the quality. So you might be focusing on answering these questions within your FAQ. You might create a page for it instead of including it on the homepage as a section. That's what I recommend you to do. And also on your product page, you need to include also an FAQ. Okay, after that you have a gallery, which is a section that we have used, and now it is amazing because you can add videos to it. Then we have the Hotspot section, and I think it's a new section in the Symmetry theme. It allows you to, let's say, highlight some features for your products. So what you can do is you select an image in here. You can select a different image from desktop to mobile. So let's say I selected a random image, let's say this one. I can select the image, then I can add like some features to this image. So as you can see, when I click in here, this is the first hotspot. It's in here. I can change the position from here. I can add different text in here, highlighting, let's say, a feature name, or if I have, for example, a new coffee machine coming and I want to highlight, let's say, different features about it, this could be like very beneficial. Or if you have a new bag with different new features, you can do that. I like this section because I like when you can deliver a lot of information in a very, let's say, attractive and simple way. If we click on add more sections, you will have like more sections to explore. We have image with text overlay, key features. This is a very nice section actually, and it's a new one. And you can use it to highlight also different features. So let's say, for example, I want to talk about one of my sneakers. So let's say I go back in here. I click on stretch. I select different, let's say, I'm gonna pick this one. I pick an image. I can change even the background and the colors, everything. Let's say I want to talk about, for example, how comfy it is. Let's say I can add text related to it. I can lower the number of segments to 3 actually. I will add only 3 features, so this is gonna be the third one, let's say. Then I go back, I talk about, let's say I select a different image for the product, let's say this one. I talk about a different key benefit for this product, same idea with the same logic, and so on. So I create different tabs in here, let's say, and I change the information from here. Okay, I need to define that actually I only have 3 featured, so let me go back. Oh, okay, the minimum I can have is 4, so I must have 4. So let's say for this one, I'm gonna pick a different image. Okay, if I go back to the section, you can see that I can move on like this by scrolling from one to another. It's super nice, it looks super professional, and I really like it, and I guess it works perfectly well, or maybe even better, on inside of a product page. Okay, you can click on Add Section and explore more and more sections of what this theme offers. As you can see, you can have like scrolling banners if you want. So if you want to announce a sale, I usually use this to announce a sale. You can have it, you can add like the text, you can even add a countdowner within the scrolling. So this is gonna be extremely nice if you have announcing, for example, summer sale. You can have this one and you can move it up. So it's at the beginning of the page, let's say here, to announce your sales. And let's see what other sections you have. You have store messages, shop the look, an amazing section, and I think it's new in Symmetry. Shop the look is a section that I highly recommend you to use it. True, it's called Shop the look, but you can use it for any niche. It's about trying to increase your store average order value by showing your customers products that fit together. So let's say, for example, in our case, we can do a shop the look section to, for example, to push a bag with a pair of shoes, with, for example, some matching accessories and so on. So what we need to do is actually to include an image for this section like we have done before. So let me pick a random image. So I've selected an image. I can scroll down and select a different image for mobile. I can even select a video. And from here, after like changing the media size as well, you can select here the products you want to showcase. So let's say I want to showcase all my sneakers. Let's say the image has multiple products. I can select them and now they are here. So people can directly like start shopping them from here by exploring them from here. Okay. If you go back in here to add sections, you will find other sections that you can work with, like product list if you want, a multi-column section, a logo list, and so on. This section is extremely nice and it's extremely functional and efficient, and you can use it not only on your homepage but also within your product pages or your product or your collection pages. Okay, let's see what other sections do we have in here. We have like store messages. We have seen this at the beginning of this video. We also have like the multi-column section, which is nice. We have also the key features section that we have seen, and so on. The section you are going to be able to add to your homepage will depend on the theme you are using. If you are using a free theme, you will have a limited number of sections. The more professional the theme you are using, the more sections you will find. And I think the Symmetry theme in here is offering a wide range of sections that you can work with. It's very important to keep in mind that your homepage main job is to reply to these 3 questions. First, what makes your brand unique? Second, what do you sell and what products your customers might find in your store? And third, why people should be trusting you. That's why all the sections that we add to our homepage should be replying to those questions. And that's why your homepage should have at least one section that replies to each of these questions. In order to explain to your customers what do you sell, you need to have sections like brand story or like a rich text where you explain to your customers what your brand is about. In order to help your customers find what they are searching for and understand what products you sell, you should have a clear navigation menu, you should have a collection list, you should have a bestseller collection in your homepage. And in order to make your customers trust you and trust your brand, you should have sections that double down on social proof. So you should have testimonials, a brand story, a logo list showing where your brand was featured. Maybe your brand was featured in magazines or TV shows. You should be showcasing this in your homepage. Your homepage structure will differ depending on your niche, the number of products you sell, the collections you have. So there is no definitive like one structure for all homepages, but you know now what kind of, let's say, mindset you should be structuring your homepage with. Thank you so much for watching this video and for staying up until the end. I truly appreciate that. Before leaving, I want to invite you to smash the like button, because by liking this video, you will help it to reach more and more people. And second, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification bell, because in this way, you will get notified each time I publish a new video. Thank you again for watching this video, and see you next week. Bye bye.